Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, 24th of October. Today's call is really going to be looking at how you can do technical analysis yourself at home, really, really simply, and something that's super crazy powerful. It can change maybe the next 6 months of your trading. And yeah, I've been doing this weekend. Been doing it with Matt in the group as well, and it's really just to show you how simple and how easy trading can be. Just following one tool. There's no Elliott waveness, no Fibonacci, there's no chart patterns. This is looking at an indicator and trading the extreme areas. So the extreme areas you'll see, I'm just choosing MACD here. I'm looking at Wall Street hourly one. And what you'll see is, if I just start here, all I'm interested in really is just looking at extreme areas when price comes to an extreme area. So I just go back through and I highlight all of these, when it comes to really something you can see here's like a range, that's kind of like a range of where MACD goes, maybe down to there. So all I'm doing is saying, well, what happens when it goes outside of that range? Okay, so then I just put a horizontal line to mark these. Once I've marked most of these ones up, and then I'll just come back up, and what you'll see, really, really powerful, is, and I just put the vertical lines. You'll see what happens here. Every time MACD is in an extreme area, we just go back through, we just mark it. And this is what I want you guys doing as part of your learning. For all the indicators, you don't need any kind of like fancy courses. You just don't need that. All the price action is in the history of the charts. So all we've got to do is just decipher it and the codes of what's happening. That's minus 140. I think basically what I've got to on MACD on this is Wall Street hourly one is below a minus 150. So every time it gets below, say, minus 150, there's some kind of reaction. So you can go back through the whole of history, go back through whatever market you're changing. So whether there's Forex, commodities, so gold, oil, silver, British pound, yen, pound, USD, Euro USD, USD, yen, any of the pairs that you're trading, just cryptocurrencies. The theory, what I'll show you is price comes below certain levels. So say minus 150 on this time frame on this market, and then you enter when the green dot comes up, because obviously it can keep dropping. So you enter on the green. What you'll see here is some crazy moves, 1,000 pip move there. Actually, it's a bit further over on there. So this is what we're going to be having in the group. So the signal is going to completely revamp the signals. We're going to cut those off. So when the signal goes off at the moment, even though they're highlighting something which is happening, they can go off in the middle range. So what we want is them just to go off in an extreme range. If you think about it, if MACD RSI, whichever one it is really low down, the probability of going up is a lot higher than if MACD is in here. When it's in the middle range, a zero line, it's got a 50-50 chance it go up, it go down. When it's really, really low or really, really high, it's got the higher percentage probability of them moving in the opposite direction. So here as well, I mean, it's just, honestly, you got 1,067 pips there, 1,160, 1,350. You'll see what happens is it's literally bottoming the market. So there you'd enter this one. Within a week, you're talking 1,200 pips, 1,000 pips each move. It's just remarkable. It would be there on the green dot. You can see on the green dot and the crossover. 760. So again, rather than getting in too early, wait for the confirmation. You want to get the bottom, but you get very, very close. But we'll figure out the stop loss so the alerts are as good as possible. Really strong signals. Again, just put it there. You see how incredible this is? 2,000 pip move. Doesn't go off, massively often. This is hourly one. Obviously, minute 5 go off more, but maybe not as many pips. But 1,000, 1,160. So, 2,000, nearly 3.5. 4.7, 5.2, over 6. You're talking over 8,000 pips since May. So in 5 months, 8,000 pips, just following the strategy, doing nothing else. It's absolutely incredible. It works. You can even say, right, well, on the sell side, and this is what we got to do is technical analysis. There's different ways of doing it, but you can just see like here again. So I'll have to move that one over just because it's worked on the sell side as well. You see that? I don't know why I've put that there. Let's put the right one on. There we go. Put that. So even on the sell side, you got a 740. So can you just see, like, just trading these extreme levels? So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing with my weekend. I hope you guys are spending the weekend to learn a skill, and improve yourself, get yourself ready for the week. Next 6 months, these could be really, incredible returns. When we're just going through these, you can just see, even when it's not in an extreme area, we have our usual trading setups that you can see with the weakening and waiting for the confirmation. But I hope you can, use this. These will be updated in the group, so the signals will be revamped. Meet up with James hopefully this week to get all the old ones cleared out, and we look to put these in. So when they go off, this is hourly one goes off. You've got the confidence to do it. So even where you get, like a wave two or double dip, comes back down, so you've entered here, you'd have your stop loss. So we'll work out some stop losses, but the risk reward is absolutely phenomenal. You can see on each of these moves, you hold it, if you were to hold it for in a month, 2,000 pips just on that one move. So you can see how we could, it's going to be incredible because you've got each market. So we're going to work on obviously a couple of the indices, a few of the forex pairings, a few commodities, and it'll be different time frames. So again, you can do this yourself as part of your learning to understand how the market moves. But that's hourly one. I could go to let's find a pairing somewhere. And this is all you got to do is just start having a look. So this is hourly one on GBP USD. Exactly the same principle. I just go through and say, well, where's an extreme area? What happens? We've had these two, so now all of a sudden, if I put, then this bottom, that area is where the two lines are. So say you got in on the first one, even, where would it be? First one, even though it drops, it still gives you an incredible return. You'd also potentially add there as well. So add the two together, so 800 pip move. I just literally just scroll back through and say, well, and again, we're cherry picking. We're not just trading for the sake of it. If I come into minute 15, again, I can say, right, well, if I just zoom out, and that's the way to do it, just zoom right back out, and then you start looking for these extreme areas. Okay, and again, it can work on the sell side. So on the sell side, comes in here, and on the sell side, wait for the red to go. So when it comes down, you got a big move there. It can really be that powerful, and that's all we're doing. Going back through me, Matt Donovan as well. Shout out, he's been. We had a good call Friday. Lofty as well jumped on that. Guys, just see, look, bang, what happens is an extreme area. So you can start getting your meter reads almost. So you say, right, well, when the price gets to that level, what's the average return? Again, don't mess about with all this area. Just wait for it to be in an extreme area. Of course, we already have our divergence strategy. So again, you see with a MACD, very, very clear, very, very simple. So, I mean, that's double whammy because, again, you've got an extreme area. You could argue that's an extreme area. It's not very often the price is getting down to these levels. And then again, you've got even more powerful. You just see, boom, price just absolutely rockets. Even if it drops a bit, so it drops there, 68 pips, it drops, fine. Bang, up it goes 226. So you've got the confidence to know that when price is in these extremes, you can say this is an extreme area potentially. And again, you still get a return, 140, even though the market carries on weaker. Again, MACD, the same setup, bang. And we get the divergence, and then you get the move. So it's very, very powerful stuff. Hopefully, fairly easy to understand that. That's another nearly 200 pip move. It's not tricky to understand. It's actually quite interesting on the sell side for this as well, because you can see, clearly in these extreme moves, like what happens. I mean, that eventually goes down there, 400 odd pips. So it doesn't matter on the market. It's just a case of us going through. I did as a team, as a community, and finding these readings. So actually the signals can just be completely adapted to show this. Once the signal is done, they'll pop up in the group and you'll have the confidence to trade it, because from my initial research, you're talking 80-90% plus success rate, which is huge. So you could be out and about somewhere, alert comes through, and then you can trade it. So really, really powerful stuff. That's really the main lesson for today. This week's lesson is to actually show you how I'm doing this, what we're doing. We're going back, because everything you need in trading is already been printed. It's already in the price chart. We just have a job to go back and analyze what happens at certain points to give me the highest probability trade. Obviously, trading carries risk, significant risk, leverage products on this spread betting. So yeah, it's a risky business. Our job is to make it as highly probable when we enter a trade and make sure the risk reward are there. you can just see when the MACD, and we'll be doing this for our RSI or small say, but I'm looking at MACD now. When MACD's in the middle, it's kind of like, well, there's no high probability, and you can see prices kind of range bound. It is trending down, but there's a lot of range bound sideways movements. It's really hard to trade that with success. Um, you can do the buy low, sell high, of course. We can do that. We can look for diversions within there, but it's much, much better getting high probability trading setup. So please, if you haven't already started, then do that this weekend. Spend some time, but it doesn't take long. It take, what's this, 10 minutes or something, and you already find that rule. You get that rule, and then we write it down. So in theory, and again, we can put this into a spreadsheet, but it will be used based um, on the alerts. You put it on your sheet, print it out, put it above your computer. But again, what rule, like a loose rule we find? So hourly one, Wall Street, we can say MACD drops below, so minus 150, say, buy when green signal crossover confirmed. Okay, and the minimum, so minimum total profit. So you have different total profits as minimum total profit one. What's the smallest I've seen? Like 748. It looks like on there. Is 748. But you could change that. So you could say TP1 200. TP2 400, and then TP3 is manage stop loss, and just keep bringing stop loss up. Very, very powerful, very, very simple. Put that on there, print that out, stick it on your wall, stick it next to your computer, have it on a print out sheet card. So if you're out and about and the alert goes off, bang, you can have it. So yeah, I hope that helps. Hope you can have a great rest of your Sunday. Please do start doing this, sharing your thoughts in the group, in the discussion. Me and Matt have started on this, but we the more of us that do this, the quicker we'll get the signals and the alerts, and actually it's given you confidence, and it's part of your learning to go back and say, well, what analysis can I do myself in my spare time, to understand how the market works, what happens. So when that does go off, you've actually got the confidence to trade it. So yeah, hope that helps. Hope you're going to profit from that strategy. And yeah, drop a comment in. Either I'll probably put this on YouTube just as try and help some other people. So if you're watching on YouTube, like and share and subscribe, and ask any questions in there. And again, in the group, in our community, feel free to ask any questions, and we can even have a call on it to get everyone up and running, to cover as many markets as we can in many time frames. So yeah, that is it from me. Have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll share the usual sort of market outlook charts shortly.